Hey, great day to you all. I hope that you've all woken up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. And I hope you've set that high vibe. How do you do that? By telling yourself that you're grateful. Yeah, grateful to be alive, grateful to be breathing, grateful to have all the capacities that you do. You know, I have to stress this morning's live because it is really important to know how you see yourself. Really. And it's really important. Now, why is it so important? Because what you believe about yourself and how you see yourself constructs your whole life. Yeah. It really does. It doesn't matter what another says. It doesn't matter what another does. Everything matters when it comes down to how you see yourself. Okay? And what you believe about yourself. It's really, really important to not let your past experiences define who you are as a person today. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're raised the way that any one of us has been raised and conditioned and programmed, well, when you're pushing past these things, it's really important to construct new beliefs about who you are. Why? Well, because if you don't, you will be stuck believing you're somebody that you're not. It's as simple as that. Now, I love to use myself as an example, so I will. Listen, if I believed everything that everybody else said to me about who I was as a person, I wouldn't have a chance at being okay. Literally. Even down to my own siblings, how they see me and how they treat me. So, it is so important to see yourself and believe in yourself in a helpful way. Okay, being guided to even break it down more than that. Look, it is so important to rewrite your belief systems about your own being. You're not your trauma. You're not your hopes and fears. You are not your past. You are not what anybody has told you you are or made you believe that you are. You're an amazing, great person. And the magical capacities that you have as a creator are unearthly. And you have to be firm in that. You have to know who you are. Because, look, if you're doubting yourself, if you're blaming yourself, if you're shaming yourself, well, you are also doing that to another. So how you treat yourself directly correlates with how you treat others in this world. How you see yourself is how you're going to see others. It's very easily. It's easy to see. Okay? What do you do about it? You take the time to invest in yourself and find out what it is that you believe about yourself to be right. I said it again on the live the other day. You really have to take a pen and paper and you have to write down all the things that you seem to believe about yourself and why you believe them. But you can, just as easily as when you do that, you can easily correct it. Okay? Like, it really doesn't matter how another sees you. But everything matters when it comes to how you see yourself. If you don't believe you're worthy of anything, well, then it doesn't matter how consciously you strive for it. because you'll never achieve it. Because your subconscious brain is going to do what's best for you. And what's best for you? Well, governing out of your belief systems. Because that's what takes the lesser of the evils. What do I mean by that? Okay, well, your subconscious brain is going to protect you from correcting things because of the energy that it takes. And because of the emotion that it's going to surface. Allow it to happen. Like I say, our thoughts produce feelings within our body. So if you're not seeing yourself right, and if you are not self-empowering right, you're going to feel the effects of that. Okay? And that is facts. Doesn't matter. That is just the way it is. So if you're believing that you are any type of way, you really have to take a look whether these thoughts you're having about your own being is helping you or they aren't. And if they're not helpful to you, you must correct them. I'll use myself as an example. Look, if I listen to everything that everybody else said about me, and they're stuck in their own judgments and opinions, well, while they're doing that, they really don't see who I am. While people are telling me I'm too much, well, they'll never take the time to really know me. While people are telling me that I'm too straightforward and I speak too much truth, well, that's not going to stop me from doing that. See what I mean? Like it's really, really important about how you see yourself. So the way I see myself is very different than anybody on the planet sees me. But I know who I am, and that's what makes the difference. So people can tell me that I'm too much for them. People can tell me that I'm too loving. People can tell me that I'm too truthful. But that doesn't matter. How I see myself, everything that another may not be okay with, these are my greatest qualities, my greatest strengths, especially in the world that we're living in. So this is why I say it's really important about how you see yourself more than anybody else's opinion of you. Their opinions come from their own belief systems and what they can actually handle as an individual. But if I went through so many years of seeing myself the way that I was convinced to look at myself. Okay? I was programmed also. I was conditioned also. And I really did not see myself as the individual that I am. Okay? Actually, right up until my spiritual awakening. So that is when I really got a clear-cut understanding of who and what I truly am. But until then, until that point, I was always striving to find that exit from the opinions of everybody else. So, because I had buckled to believing everything that I was told about me and allowed people's opinions to actually construct who I was, oh yeah, my life was a walking nightmare. And I couldn't figure myself out. And I hated myself. And I shamed and blamed and guilted everything but my own being. Then I guilted and shamed and blamed myself too. But that does not produce anything good in your life. It really doesn't. The truest corrections that we have to make is within our own beings. Because everything that's going on inside of us, well, our reality outside is a clear-cut, exact image of how we're feeling. So, if you're not feeling good about yourself and really solid in who you are, well, then there's really nothing solid in your life. There's a clear-cut correlation there. So, yeah, it affects you more than you think. All of your decisions, what you allow yourself to do and what you don't allow yourself to do, all of this comes from how you see yourself. Everything. How you speak to yourself, the self-talk, is direct correlation to who you believe yourself to be. Changes have to be made internally in order to be okay. Because if you're not okay, you're the one that is making yourself not okay. But the same way that you're making yourself not okay is the same way that you can easily fix it. But yeah, if you've been distracted from your own being to the point that you don't even know how you see yourself, well, it's time to invest that time and energy into yourself. Because nobody matters more than you do in this experience. And the misconception about, oh, our kids matter more than we do, and our jobs matter more than we do, and our this matters more than we do, and hey, that's not right either, because you matter the most in your experience. So, I'll ask you today, who are you showing up as? Who do you believe yourself to be? Well, that is going to be the direct correlation as to what you can have in your life. Literally. Like myself, seeing myself finally correctly and setting the boundaries and not allowing what I've allowed in my life all my life was huge changes. Huge changes for me. Why would I not cut people out of my life? When you know who you are and you know what you bring, well then, you're not going to tolerate people, places, and things that insistently keep you shackled to somebody that you are not. That's what it comes down to. It's not about getting upset with anybody. It's not about, no. The people that I've cut out of my life is because they don't see me for who I am. So therefore, they're not worthy of having access to me. Simple. And they've had enough time to see me for who I am. But how I see myself is very different than how the world sees me. I know how amazing I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm capable of. And I know that there's no stops. Unless I'm limiting myself. I know the power of my energy. I know the power of what I can make possible. So why would I allow anything or anybody to make me feel any other way? I wouldn't. So it's really, really, really important that you stay structured in who you believe yourself to be. And we change every day. Every day. We change every day. So every day that you wake up a new person. Yeah, you do. Every day you wake up a new person. Because you lived and experienced yesterday. So that experience of yesterday either made you a better being today, or has made you a bitter being today. By your choice alone. How is this possible? by your thoughts alone. Did you take the learning out of yesterday? Did you come forward today closing that day off, sealing everything that may have caused you to feel any way? Have you looked at it, appreciated it for what it was, and released it to the universe and just held on to the learning? It's a lot of things that we have to do daily to be on a continuous evolving evolution of being a better being. It doesn't stop. Because every single day that I wake up, my one goal in life is to continuously be a better being for myself, primarily. Why? Because everybody attached to me then benefits from me being a better being. But that's why it's really important that when you're on this becoming a better being consciously, that you do not allow anything that is stopping you from that. And you do not believe or give in to what people may be telling you that is not helping you. Because that's huge too. And I hate to tell you, but if you feel like you're alone in the world and you are the support system for everybody around you, well, it's because that is who you have been constructed to be. If you are the one with the heart full of love that is making sure everybody is okay, well, you better see yourself as that person. Okay? Know your great strengths. Because honestly, we have no weaknesses. All of our weaknesses have been planted there by the beliefs of others. So it's up to you whether you're going to allow yourself to have any kind of weaknesses today or great strengths. But when we are born into an experience that everything is of perfect design for evolution and growth and spiraling up, and a seed doesn't remain a seed, well, then there is no negativity in that. And there is no getting stuck, staying anywhere in that. We evolve and grow as an individual every single day. Okay? Now, if you want to stay believing you're somebody that you're not, you will produce the effects of that. What do I mean? Well, we sit there and we guilt ourselves. We shame ourselves. We blame ourselves. We deny ourselves. We doubt ourselves. Well, while you are doing that, you are creating situations in your life to validate all that to you. Because your brain's job is to take all that information you're feeding it and to produce it to be real. Yeah. So, you gotta correct the way that you're thinking about yourself, the way you're talking about yourself, because if you don't, you are producing things in your life to validate that stuff to you. And then you get stuck going, oh, okay, you see, I knew it. No, you've just created that by your thinking patterns and by what you're doing. That's why it's so important to correct how you see yourself as an individual. And it really doesn't matter what another tells you. Because you are the farthest thing from your life experiences. You're the farthest thing from all of those trapped emotions in your being. You're the farthest thing from anybody who's limited. We limit ourselves. We're born abundant with zero limitations. Do you realize that? Zero limitations at birth. Except for the fact we're in our smaller body. That's the only limitation we have. We're born as powerful creators, capable of doing everything and anything. So the limits, the doubts, the shame, the blame, the guilt, the denial only comes in after we've been taught all that. Isn't that a shame? Actually, it's not, because you know what? I'm glad I've lived everything that I have, because it has genuinely made me a better being in totality. I don't accept things the way that they are or the way that somebody else thinks they should be just because. Oh, no. If that doesn't feel right for my heart, the discernment of my heart tells me everything and everything and everything and all, okay? And I don't go against that, because honestly, factually, it makes me ill. Deathly ill. Yeah. Any negativity that we're thinking and the effects of it created in our body, I'm sorry, with all of the organ failure that I've overcome and with all of the near death and all of the dying situations, I cannot allow even negativity to flow within my being. I can't. Because if I do, I get sick really fast. So it's more than just it being a choice. My life depends on me thinking correctly and acting correctly about how I see myself first. Because it all starts with that. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Any situation, any circumstance, any interaction that I may have, I can't sway from who I am as an individual. I can't. Because if I do, I'm going to feel the effects of that physically. And I can't allow that for myself. And that's why, everybody tells me, oh, Toby, maybe you should be a little bit more sensitive, or nah, my life is on the line if I do that. And I already know that. And the vibration that I carry as an individual, I cannot get sick. Literally, I can't get sick. I could be hands-on with anything. The vibration that I carry, illness and disease does not reside there. It's impossible. So when I tell everybody that I healed myself coming out of that horror story, I factually have. But now being healed on a different level, I cannot embody anything negative. Not even a thought. Because if I do, I feel the bodily effects of that. So, every day that I wake up, it doesn't matter my situation or what I have to live. I have to wake up and be grateful to be alive and embody a certain vibration within myself, no matter what. I just have to. See, and this is why I have to stress to you guys, it doesn't matter how another sees you. You are either helping yourself or you are actually hindering yourself. And that's all you need to know. You don't need to sift through all of it in detail. What you need to concretely know is whether you are helping yourself or whether you are harming yourself by how you are treating your own being. So from there, that's when you can make some clear-cut choices for yourself. But don't be harmful to your being. Don't doubt yourself. Don't sit there and shame yourself, blame yourself, guilt yourself. The past is over. It's gone. It's gone. It doesn't exist. It only exists in the memories of it, which have actual stored emotions stamped with those memories, because that's why you remember them. It's not the details of the situation. You actually remember it from how it made you feel. That's why you remember it. Factually. Because that's how these memories get imprinted on our brain. It's not what we've lived. It's to the depth of the magnitude of what we felt during it. Yeah. Because our memories, our storage memories, are supposed to be a quick reference for our bodies. Oh, okay, I lived that. That's how it made me feel. Oh, okay, steer clear. Oh. And your subconscious brain will actually do whatever it needs to for you to avoid that situation or circumstance again. That's why our brains talk us out of things. And that's why our brains guide us in different directions. Because it's according to what you already have stored in your memory. And the brain, the subconscious brain also too, with all of these things that are going on in your body, it doesn't want you to have to face anything that you can't deal with. It doesn't want to have you to be exerting excessive energy and your life force in places where you shouldn't be. So it'll talk you out of doing things to keep you safe, to keep you regulated. That's why it's even more important to check how you see yourself. Because these belief systems that you even have about yourself are quick reference points for your being. So if you believe that you're not worthy of something, it'll never happen. Literally, no matter how hard you try. Like, if you believe you're not worthy of whatever, well, then you limit yourself from it. Because like I said, when we're born, there is absolutely no limits. We are born in a state of unconditional love. We do not know separation. We are in our fullest, purest power when we take on our life experience. Now, what happens to us after that is a clear cut, like, come on, whatever you've had to live. You know, by the time you're 3 years old, your character is already set. And by the time you're 7, that's it. You are who you are. Doesn't matter about the life experience after. This is why you got to get past believing everything that you have been made to believe from 0 to 7 about yourself. And if I look at my life from 0 to 7, let me tell you, all of that is the farthest thing that I will even allow myself to believe about myself. Nor would I ever let my children believe about themselves or my grandchildren. Doesn't matter what happens after. Because what happens after is just a repetitive cycle of those belief systems stamped into you. But if I can push past it all, and I can clear off the blackboard and start putting some belief systems there according to what I've made possible for myself, it's very different than anything I've ever had to live or the opinions of others. So I'm going to encourage you guys all today again. Grab a piece of paper and a pen and really take a look at how you see yourself. And all of the things that are not helpful to you, rewrite them, correct them within your being with something that is empowering. Because you're worth it. And it really sucks when we don't see ourselves the way that we should. Because we create these results in our life automatically. And if you're not getting the things that your heart truly desires in your life, it has everything to do with how you see yourself. And how we see ourselves is actually the biggest limiting factor that we could have in our life. Literally. So before you attempt to clean up your life or get the things out of life that you really love, well, you need to clean up the way you see yourself. Yeah. Big time. Big time. Guys, I love you all. Have a great day. Listen, there's somebody who's got a purebred pit, year-old male pup who needs a home. So I'm going to say it out here. If there's anybody that is interested in a male pup, He looks red-nosed. He's beautiful. I saw pictures of him before. Guys, reach out. Or go into my friends, because it's only friends that access my stuff now too. And Katie Watson has the dog and is looking for a home. She already has a male, and 2 males in the house. Sometimes, it just doesn't work. So, and I was offered the dog, but I have my dog, and I just had to give up my other dog. And I'm not, you know what? After Big Head, I'm not bringing in any more dogs. I have been living a lifestyle with dogs for so many years, but after Big Head's gone, I'm not getting any more dogs. No. But, guys, there's a beautiful red nose. Beautiful. His name is True. He's a year old. He's a male. He's not fixed. And if you're interested, let me know. Okay? Or go and reach out to Katie Watson on my page. So, guys, please, today, take the time to correct your belief systems about yourself by replacing any negativity or hindering thoughts you may have about yourself with empowering, helpful thoughts. Okay? All the time. Because if you choose not to, you're actually self-harming. And you don't even realize that. But any negativity that you insist on hanging on to within your own being, about your own being, is going to cause more damage within you than you could ever realize during these times. Everything is amplified. So if you haven't been correcting the way you see yourself, now is the time to do so. And if you need some help with that, hey, reach out. Because I'm an empath, I'll tell you things about yourself that you don't even realize. And because I am who I am, and because I've self-mastered, trust me when I tell you, I can read you your energy back to you to tell you exactly what you need to correct. That's just who I am. And that doesn't come out of judgment. That comes out of love. Infinite, unconditional love that fuels me. And what makes things possible like this. I can't do this for just no reason. You see, my gift of being able to assist transmutation of energy within myself and within others in a mere conversation is very real. The way I see things, my ability to see things from a bird's eye view, regardless of whether I'm living it or not, is one of my biggest qualities. How I see things is a lot different than how others see things. And there is zero judgment when it comes to me. So if you want some clear-cut help, well, hey, a 10-minute conversation with me, you'll know exactly the things you got to work on. And it's only made possible because I have done so much of my own inner work. So I know. Okay? Literally. Like, I have no more corrections to do. What I have to do is be grateful every day for my experience. And that is it. And things are going to manifest themselves because of the magnitude that I love myself. And the magnitude of which I love myself now easily makes the capacity to love somebody else very valid to me right now. So, it's all good. And that is the better being that I choose to be every day. Guys, clean up and correct the way you see yourself. You're a great individual. You are amazing. You know what? How do you know how you're feeling about yourself? Speak. Something you normally wouldn't. What do I mean? Okay. Tell yourself that you're greatness walking and see how that makes you feel. Do you feel good about saying that, or does it make you feel uncomfortable? Well, your heart's telling you what you believe. So, if you tell yourself, I love myself fully, unconditionally, and sit with that. How does your body react to that? Have you ever put awareness there to see? Speak. I am confident. And see how your body reacts to that. Because thoughts and speech cause feelings. But if you're too distracted by the world and your life circumstance, you'll never put the awareness there to actually feel it. Well, this is the inner work that I've done. With every thought when I was doing inner work, I had to look at how that made me feel. And correct the things that didn't make my body feel right. And when I say speak good things into your life, it's not a joke. I've sat here for years telling myself good things to make things happen. I couldn't close my skin and be, and come back from death the way I have had I been telling myself that I couldn't do it or that I didn't see myself as amazing as I did. It would have been a clear contradiction. I would have lost my life. So everything stems down to how you see yourself. And it doesn't matter what others say. Your birthright is abundance. Your birthright is unconditional love. Your birthright is anything that you want. But how do you see yourself? And the things that you want, not feeling 100%, is very much limiting in comparison to what you can have when you're feeling to the best of your abilities. And we attract people the way we feel. So if you're looking for love in relationships, if you do not have a great relationship with yourself, you cannot have a great relationship with anybody. If you are lying to yourself, then you are lying to another. You got to watch how you operate as a being according to how you see yourself and change it. Okay? Speak greatness into your life. Every day, all day. Until it happens naturally. And yeah, your body's going to feel weird. You're going to start telling your stuff out of sorts. Well, your body's going to react to that. And it's going to be a shock to your system. But go with the flow and keep doing it. Because we've accepted things for ourselves that have not been helpful at all. And this is why I encourage you guys all to push past those limits. Push past it. You're the farthest thing from anything that anybody's ever made you to believe. Your greatness walking. You matter. It doesn't matter how insignificant you may feel in the world, but you matter. The Prime Creator has you here for a reason. Not everybody brings the same things, eh? Everybody has a unique signature, and everybody is meant here for a reason. And we all contribute something. We really do. But clean up the way you see yourself today. Because guess what? That will be the best investment you could ever make in yourself. Or in anything. Because it's from that point, when you start correcting your belief systems about who you are, it makes everything else so much easier to deal with, to do, you can acquire anything from that point. Because you've realized that it's only you and your belief systems that have limited you from having anything. Push past that stuff. How? Correct it. By choice alone. Because we think that we have to change matter with matter. No, we don't. It's mind over matter and soul before it all. Okay? Because what's fueling that mind over matter is your soul. Which makes your experience possible. Harness the greatness and the infinite love, unconditional love, that is fueling you for your experience. Your greatness walking. So if you're not feeling that today, I encourage you to rewrite that today. Tell yourself you are amazing. Tell yourself you are greatness walking. Tell yourself that you matter in this world. Tell yourself what you bring to the table is uniquely you. There's no duplicates. There's no replicates. And there are certainly no knockoffs. You are greatly you. Infinitely, unconditionally loved. To be you. So I highly suggest that you love yourself unconditionally today, no matter what. Okay? Pull out all the strengths that you have and get rid of all of the doubt, the shame, the blame, the guilt, the hanging on to your past that's no longer relevant. And that's a big problem too. Hanging on to stuff in your mind and in your being that is no longer relevant to your life experience today. Why would you do that to yourself? To have some shape of identity? No. Create your identity to be who you uniquely are. And that has nothing to do with your life experience. Because that's all been for learning. Literally. And your learning doesn't end. So don't accumulate regrets for yourself daily by actually hindering your own being, by limiting yourself according to your own belief systems. Doesn't matter what you've had to live. Doesn't matter what you were installed with. You're an adult now. Instead of making excuses for how you operate, you need to clean that shit up today. I love you all. Set that high vibe. You matter the most. How could you not? This is your experience. Enjoy the ride. Be helpful to your own being and not hindering to your own self. And like I say, before you can have any relationship with anybody, you need to have a great relationship with your own being. So if you're not making yourself feel good, well, you better start asking yourself why you do that to yourself. We shouldn't be harming ourselves. Well, little do people know they harm themselves every single day by just the thoughts they're having about their own beings. Can't do that anymore to yourself. Let's close this year off empowering each other and assisting others to be better beings every day, so we all can get the most out of this experience. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.